Have you ever found yourself, pouring a glass of your favorite spirit and just wondered, what's the real story behind this bottle?
Hmm.
Like what hidden journeys or surprising origins are there beyond just the label?
It's funny you mentioned that. Those hidden stories are often the most interesting parts.
Exactly. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into Tanduay Rum. It's from the Philippines.
Ah, okay.
Now, some other Filipino rums might ring a bell more easily, but Tanduay, well, it has this surprisingly rich, much longer history that honestly often gets overlooked.
Right. It's not always the first name that jumps out for Filipino rum, is it?
No, but I found its story truly fascinating as I was digging into it for this deep dive.
Looking forward to hearing about it.
So our journey into this remarkable spirit is mostly guided by a really detailed blog post. It's by Thomas Hine Nielsen, who writes for whiskey.dk.
Oh, yeah. Whiskey.dk, the Danish retailer.
That's the one, a
Hmm.
prominent spirit retailer over there. His piece gives us, well, not just his personal tasting experience, but also a proper deep dive into Tanduay's history.
And context is everything with spirits like this.
Totally. And he throws in some interesting background on whiskey.dk itself, too.
Okay.
So our mission today, let's unpack that surprising history, look at the unique production, and really discover the distinctive flavors that make Tanduay rum pretty significant.
Sounds good.
Think of this as like your shortcut to getting really well informed about a spirit that's actually been making waves for centuries.
Excellent. Where do we start?
Okay, let's start by setting the scene for our main source. So we're drawing a lot from whiskey.dk. As you said, the Danish retailer. It's actually Denmark's largest online and physical whiskey store.
Wow, largest. That's impressive.
Yeah, and it's got quite a story itself. Founded back in 2012 by Ulrik Bertelsen and Henrik Olsen.
Okay.
Started as just a small online thing, apparently, but grew super fast.
Hmm.
They won multiple Danish Gazelle prizes, which I gather is a pretty big deal award in Denmark for rapid growth.
Ah, the Gazelle Awards. Yeah, they recognize serious entrepreneurial success. That tells you something about whiskey.dk right there.
Definitely. And it paints this picture of them being a real hub for spirit lovers, not just whiskey.
That's right. I mean, their reach goes way beyond whiskey. They've got a huge selection of rum, gin, cognac, tequila, lots of other exclusive stuff, too.
Right.
And they even have a big, 500 square meter showroom near Colding. They do tastings, master classes. Sounds like a proper destination.
Wow. Okay. So serious player? That's good context for the source.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we dive headfirst into Tanduay, just to give it proper context, it's probably worth acknowledging that other Filipino rum people might know.
Ah, Papa.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
Don Papa. Definitely more widely known internationally these days, I'd say.
Right. Founded much more recently, back in 2012, by a British guy, Stephen Carroll, part of his Bleeding Heart company.
And named after Papa Ezio, their rebel leader, right?
Exactly, that charismatic figure. And, for those really into rum, there are even Danish bottlings out there, like from 1423. They did some single cask Filipino rums. Oh, yeah, the SBS bottlings. I think I remember seeing those. Shows the interest in the category, even beyond the main brands.
For sure. So while Don Papa's, the modern chapter,
Mm-hmm.
this is where Tanduay's story just blows it out of the water in terms of age.
Okay, how far back are we talking?
We're talking mid-1830s.
Wow, okay, that is going back.
Yeah. Spanish-born Jose Joaquin de Anchasti and his family, they moved to the Philippines then. It was possible because trade restrictions in Manila had just been lifted, opening things up.
Right, the opening of the port. And the historical context there is just crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, the Philippines was already known for sugar production back then, which obviously you need for rum.
The key ingredient.
Exactly. But the big hurdle was the Spanish colonial rule from, 1565 right up to 1898.
Long time.
And during that time, the Spanish government had a monopoly on rum production. So the potential was there, the sugar was there, but
But you could just start making rum.
pretty much the direct route was blocked.
So what changed?
Well, what's fascinating, and this is the key part, is the lifting of that Spanish monopoly in 1834.
Ah, yeah.
That was the real turning point. It basically opened the door for Anchausti to properly get into the rum business. By the 1850s, Jose Joaquin, who'd taken over the family business, was fully into rum production.
So the monopoly lift was the trigger.
Absolutely. And, the rest is history, as they say. But I think the real insight here is just Tanduay's incredible longevity, surviving, thriving from the mid-1800s, navigating colonial rule, market changes.
Yeah, most spirit brands don't last that long.
Exactly. It's not just a fun fact. It speaks to this resilience, this adaptability built into the brand itself.
That's a great point. That deep history really adds something, doesn't it?
Okay.
So, from that incredible history, let's switch to the tasting. The reviewer tried 5 different Tanduays. And what apparently stood out was this distinct Tanduay DNA, that kind of recognizable character across the whole range.
Interesting. Consistency is often a good sign.
Yeah. So first up was the Tanduay Rum Silver, 40%
Wow.
ABV.
Okay, the entry-level one, presumably.
Yeah, a blend with rum aged up to 5 years, apparently, in ex-bourbon barrels. Its color was described as light white wine,
Light white wine.
which the reviewer puts down to cooling and carbon filtering it goes through.
Right. That filtering would definitely strip out color and sometimes flavor, but let's see.
Well, the tasting notes were, quote, surprisingly good.
Oh, really? For a silver?
Yeah. The aroma was fresh, mild, hints of mandarin, grapefruit, maybe a little dry coconut.
Okay, sounds quite light.
But then on the palate, it got more intense. Ripe citrus like grape and mandarin, the coconut came through more, and some mild sort of piquant underlying spices.
Mandarin and coconut. That's an interesting combo. Surprisingly good is high praise for a filtered silver rum.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the Tanduay Rum Gold, also 40%.
Gold, okay. So a bit more age, presumably.
Yep, this one's a blend aged up to 7 years, also an ex-bourbon. And the color is described as a warm golden amber.
Makes sense. What about the nose and taste?
The aroma sounds quite inviting. Spiced honey, ripe melon, almonds, orange peel, caramel, even a touch of apple juice.
Wow, that's quite a complex list for a gold rum. Spiced honey.
Yeah, and apparently the taste really mirrors the aroma closely. The reviewer called it an exciting rum.
Exciting how?
Said you might even mistake it for a spiced rum, but it's not. It's all natural from the aging and blending.
Ah, okay. That is interesting, getting the spice notes without actually adding spice.
Definitely. Okay, next up, Tanduay Double Rum, 40% again.
Double rum. What's the story there?
This one sounds unique. It's a blend of 16-year-old and 5-year-old rum.
16 and 5. That's quite a gap.
Yeah, and then they're married together for 2 years in ex-bourbon barrels. Resulting color is, again, that golden amber.
Okay, marrying them for 2 years, that should integrate them well. How did it smell?
The notes described were layered. Less of that spiced honey than the gold, but you get caramelized pineapple, Amarena cherry, tropical fruits, and floral notes. Citrus.
Caramelized pineapple and Amarena cherry. Sounds pretty rich.
And the taste. Found sweet notes of spiced honey again, orange peel, tropical fruit, spices, cherry, caramel, that caramelized pineapple. And then, surprisingly, large, soft marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. That's certainly a unique note, right? What do you reckon contributes to that? Is that common?
Ha, marshmallows. Well, it's definitely delightful and unexpected. You sometimes get that kind of note from the interaction of vanilla from the bourbon barrels,
Oh, okay.
combined with a certain softness, maybe a kind of powdered sugar sweetness that's just inherent in the rum profile itself. It really speaks volumes about the complexity they're getting.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, blending those different ages, 16 and 5 years, that must
Wow.
be tricky to get right, to create something so cohesive but still distinct. It really shows the blender's art, doesn't it?
It really must. Okay, then there's the Tanduay Reserve, matured dark rum, 10 years, 40% ABV,
Right, a straight 10-year-old.
matured for at least a decade, ex-bourbon barrels, and again, that golden amber color.
And how did this one stack up? Did it have that Tanduay DNA?
Apparently, yes. The reviewer described this one as having a more classic Tanduay signature. The honey and caramel notes were there, but maybe a bit more mellowed.
Mellowed, okay.
Refined. Exactly, described as more elegant and refined. And the reviewer really liked this one. High praise. Called it absolutely the best of them so far.
Wow, okay. What specifically did they like?
Highlighted its balance. Good balance of dried fruit, spiced oak, light caramel, mild sweetness, vanilla, and this lovely piquant tinkling acidity that leads into a dry finish.
That balance of sweetness, oak, fruit, and acidity sounds really appealing. Like a well-put-together rum. Reinforces that unique character we talked about.
Definitely sounds like a winner. Okay, finally, the last one in the tasting. The Tanduay Reserve Matured Dark Rum, Overproof.
Overproof, okay. What's the strength?
Comes in at 50.5% ABV. And again, that rich golden amber color.
50.5%. Decent strength. How was the nose? Still got that Tanduay character.
Yep, reviewers said it had a fruity, full-bodied, and festive nose, but still subtly carrying that Tanduay signature.
Festive, I like that. And on the palate, more intense.
Described as more adult with more volume, which you'd expect at that ABV. But, importantly, without any harsh burning sensation. Nicely integrated.
That's key with higher proof stuff. You want the flavor intensity, not just alcohol burn.
Right. And the reviewer specifically called out its piquant acidity, again, noting it really shines through at this higher proof.
Interesting how that acidity note keeps coming up. Seems like part of their signature.
It does seem that way. So what does this all mean for you, the rum enthusiast? Well, while the reviewer clearly liked the rum itself, they did have a small critique about the name Overproof for 50.5%.
Oh, what was the issue?
They kind of wished it were higher, maybe 54.5% or even a proper adult Navy strength of 57%. Felt like Tanduay maybe held back a little bit.
I see. Is it really overproof debate?
Exactly. What do you think? Is that a fair point among serious rum fans? Or is 50.5% perfectly fine as overproof for most people?
That's a great question. Look, for some, hardcore enthusiasts, they might always want that higher proof, that intense Navy strength kick.
Right.
But honestly, 50.5% is absolutely a legitimate, strong overproof for a much wider audience. It gives you more intensity, more depth than the standard 40%, definitely.
Without being too much.
Exactly. Without being overly aggressive, it actually allows more of those nuanced flavors to come through because the alcohol isn't just blasting your palate, it's a balance.
That makes sense. So overall impression from the blog post,
Yeah.
definitely positive. The reviewer was clearly pleasantly surprised by Tanduay.
Sounds like it. Did they pick any favorites?
Yeah, they singled out the silver for being surprisingly good for what it is, the 10 years, and the overproof as the high jumpers of the group. Really
Wow.
showed the range.
Good spread then. Silver, 10-year overproof, covers a different bases.
Totally. So the takeaway seems to be, if you've already tried Don Papa, Tanduay offers a really fantastic chance to explore a different and much older side of Filipino rum.
Mm-hmm. A whole different heritage there.
And if Filipino rum is totally new to you, well, this deep dive suggests Tanduay, with its history and that distinct flavor signature, is actually an excellent place to start your exploration.
Sounds like a solid recommendation.
Yeah. Reflecting on this whole deep dive, it's just clear how digging into the history, the specific characteristics of a brand like Tanduay, it really adds new layers to how you appreciate the spirit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's more than just the taste notes.
Right. Beyond the individual notes, what these tastings seem to show collectively is this distinct Tanduay signature, like a real commitment to a recognizable profile across different ages.
Yeah, suggests some sophisticated blending going on, focusing on consistency, not just chasing, the latest trend.
Exactly. It's not just what's in the bottle, but the whole journey it took to get there, navigating history.
And that leads us to a final thought, maybe a provocative one for you, the listener.
Okay.
Consider how the context, geographical, historical, all of it, from colonial influences way back when to local farming know-how, how all that shapes not just the taste of a spirit, right?
But its entire identity, its place in the world. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden stories are sitting there in the spirits you already enjoy?
That's a great point. We definitely encourage you to seek out those unique stories, the hidden flavors behind the bottles maybe sitting in your own cabinet.
You might be surprised.
You really might be surprised by what you discover.